So, good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Thursday. It's nearly the weekend, and I can't wait for the weekend. Wifey's coming to town for 5 nights, so I'm kind of excited about that. So that's going to be sick. But there's a story doing the rounds that I thought we'd have a little look at, and that is a story about Arteta wanting to get rid of Aubameyang, to get rid of Lacazette, and to get rid of Mesut Özil in the summer and do a complete overhaul of the squad and reinvest that money back into the team. And I've seen so many comments and replies. I've put it all over my community posts. I put it on Insta, Facebook, etc., etc. I've had a little look on Twitter, and it seems like it doesn't matter what Arteta does. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Everything's amazing. Which is kind of funny because it's the same faces, especially on Twitter. As soon as Unai Emery got rid of Mesut Özil out the squad, we're having meltdowns and saying that he should be sacked because he's dropping Mesut Özil. Now the story's come out that Arteta wants to sell him. We might as well build the statue for Arteta now. And this is what makes me laugh with social media sometimes. So many hypocrites, man. And it's so much fake positivity just to keep face online. And why don't people just say what they think rather than trying to fit in with the masses? Form your own opinion, instead of just going with what the hip crowd say and the hipsters online say. Why don't you just listen to the story, read the story, read it again, read it a third time, and then make your own opinion. And if you want to put that out there on social media, cool. And if you don't, you don't. It just seems it's the cool and trendy hip thing to just follow the crowd, which is something that I don't ever do. I make my own opinion on it, and I'm going to give you my opinion on it. Firstly, we'll start with Ozil. For 3.5 years, I've been abused, had death threats, been called every single name under the sun, had DMs telling people telling me they're going to find me and stab me to death in my sleep, etc., etc., because I dared to want Mesut Özil out of Arsenal Football Club 3 years ago. And it's kind of funny now, fast forward in 3 years later, 3.5 years later, maybe, that now everyone seems to want Mesut Özil out the football club. So I'm still waiting for all the apologies. You've got my DM, because obviously you DM me. So yeah, feel free to apologise. Write it on a postcard, pigeon post, whatever you want to do. So as for him, I can't wait to see the back of him. I genuinely cannot wait to see the back of that guy. Yeah, he is a bigger problem at this football club than pretty much 99.9% of the people that are at the football club. The army of divs that follow this guy. Yeah, the day he goes, Arsenal Twitter will lose about 5 million followers. And hopefully they all jog themselves onto the next club he goes to, because they're not Arsenal fans. They're Mesut Özil fans. And it was the same when he left Real Madrid. He left Real Madrid and they lost about 5 to 10 million followers on Twitter and other social medias as well, because they don't support the club, they support the player, which is cool. I get that. When I was little, I loved Ian Wright. Can't stand the geezer now. Yeah, flip-flop, flippity-flop every single day. Yeah, one day he sits on Match of the Day slagging off Arsene Wenger. The next day he's on BT Sport calling a banner against Arsene Wenger muggy. Yeah, whoever pays him to say one thing, he'll say one thing. Whoever pays him to say another, he'll say another. As a player, I idolised the geezer. I was the white Ian Wright in the playground. But I didn't go to this sort of level. Obviously, social media weren't out when I was little. But yeah, the levels now, it's just ridiculous how far people go to back a player. Blind faith and all that. But yeah, like I said, the quicker that guy's gone, the better. Because that guy, if he stays to the end of his contract, would have cost Arsenal in transfer fee, wages, image rights, agent fees, over £150 million. There's not one person on this planet that can convince me he's been worth half of that, let alone all of it. So yeah, let's move on about him, and let's move on to Lacazette. Lacazette never wanted to come to Arsenal in the first place, in my opinion. I think that he wanted Real Madrid. That'd be his dream. He wanted Atletico Madrid, and they got a transfer ban. So in the end, he was snookered, and he only really had one place to go. Very similar to how Mesut Ozil did when Real Madrid ousted him and wanted him gone to get Gareth Bale. He only had Arsenal to choose from as well. So that's why Lacazette came here. I don't think he wanted to come here. When he came, listen, I've said for a long, long time, it's only recently that I've had enough of him. Yeah, how long do you continue on with a guy who can't score? How long do you continue on with a guy that makes a living off of, oh, he works hard? Oh, that should be the bare minimum to play for this football club. You should have to work hard. You're a Premier League footballer. Yeah, if you ain't got hard work, when your talent fails, you're not welcome at this football club, in my opinion. You're surplus to requirements. So hard work should be a given. We can still get decent fee for him. Ozil, we can't get nothing for him. The geezer's on too much money. I'll be shocked if anyone pays a transfer fee plus pays him wages. So I think we're pretty stuck with him. I can't see him leaving in the summer. Lacazette, I can see that all day long. All day long. And I think we'd get there or thereabouts what we paid for him, because the way the transfer market is at the moment, the fees are stupid. And I think that we'd probably get around the 45, 50 million pound for him. He'll still have 2 years left come the summer, or he'll be into the last 2 years of his contract come the summer, 1st of July. So yeah, I think that I'd get rid. I do like him. I don't dislike him. But he has not really hit the heights, has he? I think he's a better footballer than Aubameyang, but he ain't nowhere near the level of goal scorer. And for me, I'd get rid. And then let's move on to Aubameyang. Playing us like a fiddle, I think. Genuinely think he's playing us like a fiddle. Yeah, he's got 1 year left coming up in the summer. 1st of July goes into the final year of his contract. Eric Abidal, the sporting director at Barcelona, has said they're in for a new number 9 in the summer. He fits the profile. He knows Aubameyang, and he says he thinks he's in the market. So they're going to go in for him in the summer. How much can we get for him? Because we don't get nothing for Ozil, I don't think. I think we'll get about 45, 50 for Laka. How much can we get for Aubameyang? Aubameyang scores a hell of a lot more goals. He's being wasted out on the left wing at the moment. And 1 year left on the contract. That's never a good thing. He can come out and say as much as he wants in programme notes as the club captain. Yeah, we've heard this all before, mate. Talk is cheap. We heard this with Aaron Ramsey. People have thrown at me, oh yeah, but we took the deal away from Ramsey. Yeah, well, maybe you should have signed it then, shouldn't he? Instead of divvying for 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months and saying, oh, my agent handles that. Yeah, of course he does, mate. How are you getting on at Juve? Oh yeah, 1 goal this season. Well done, mate. So yeah, good one. We've wasted signing that guy up or binning him for 45, 50 million quid. We can't do the same with Aubameyang. And like I said, Aaron Ramsey played it perfectly. Talked all summer, oh, I want to stay, I want to stay, I want to stay. Yeah, well, if you want to stay, sign the contract. What's the difference between 200 grand a week and 300 grand a week when you're a multi-millionaire? Can somebody tell me that? If you're earning 200 grand a week and you want 300 grand a week, there's not really a great deal of difference. You're already caked in money. Your bank balance is healthy. You've got a lush house, which is probably paid for. And you can go out and buy anything you want. Yeah, so what's the difference in an extra 100 grand a week? The only reason he wanted an extra 100 grand a week is because he wanted to be on Mesut Özil level of wages. I get why we didn't give it to him, because I get why, to a certain degree, we gave Ozil the money. He's the global brand, isn't he? Aaron Ramsey ain't the global brand. Yeah, Aaron Ramsey ain't got that in his locker. I think Aaron Ramsey's probably better in the last couple of years than Mesut Özil. Well, I think anyone's probably better, but I get why the club didn't want to give him that sort of money, and I get why they withdrew the contract offer away from him. So I kind of get that. But as for Aubameyang, how much can we get for Aubameyang come the summer? I'd say maybe 50, about 50 odd million. Final year of the contract, we'll be lucky to get that, if I'm honest. And we've completely cocked this up because we should have sold him in January, if we're being completely honest. We should have said, you know what, you haven't signed the contract. We're not going to allow you to go down to the last year. We're taking 80 million from Barcelona. Bye-bye. And if that meant that we had no top goal scorer, we just had Lacazette and we had Martinelli and Eddie, so be it. We haven't allowed an asset of this football club to run his contract down and walk out for free, which is what he's doing. Yeah, come the summer, he'll have 6 months left on his contract, or sorry, a year left on his contract. Come January, this time next year, he'll be in the final 5 months of his contract. This is going the exact same way as Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Özil, Aaron Ramsey. They all took it down to the final year, the final 6 months. And the club bolted and gave Ozil the money. They swapped Alexis for Mkhitaryan. And then obviously we let Aaron Ramsey walk out for nothing. Now, the cost of letting Aubameyang walk out for nothing is more than just the money we would lose. Because let's say it's 50 million quid, right? We let £50 million asset walk out for free. You've now got to go and replace that £50 million asset, which is going to cost at least another £50 million, plus the wages of that player. That player might be on 200 grand a week for 5 years. That's another 50 million quid. It's now cost you 150 million quid, isn't it? You know, so you got to look at that and say, for the better of this football club, bin the lot of them. Yeah, bin all three of them. Yeah, one of them's playing us like a fiddle. One of them is he can't score in a brothel. Just cash in on him. And the other one, just pay his contract off. Yeah, seriously, let's just move on from this guy. But anyway, there's my ramblings for 11 minutes. Big up everyone watching on Facebook as well as YouTube. Share the post on Facebook. I would appreciate that. And do subscribe and like on YouTube. And let's go through some of these comments. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you to Prayesh for your donation, mate. Appreciate that. Why are all our players getting out after being captain? The captain curse. Maybe, well, listen, we've got four captains now, haven't we? Because obviously Granit Xhaka is not a captain anymore. But yeah, it does seem like give somebody a captain's armband and all of a sudden they disappear. Maybe the club do that to try and lure them into signing a new deal. I don't know, but it don't seem to work. The fact that Arteta has not addressed this 4 captains thing, or 5 captains as it was with Emery, I'm still baffled by that, if I'm honest. 1 captain, 1 vice captain, simple as that. You don't need 4 captains. Official captains. They should all be captains on the pitch. They should all have a go at each other on the pitch if they're not doing their jobs properly. But they don't do that. It's a nice football club, isn't it? It's all nicey-nicey. And if you say anything on social media that's not nicey-nicey, the nice Arsenal fans call you toxic. Yeah, it's a real nice club, which is why we are shit. Yeah, how about be ruthless and start saying it as it is? Anyway, Ikaba Michael Kagwaji, I hope I've got your name right, mate, on Facebook, says, I like your videos, mate. Thank you very much. I'm here twice a day, 3 times a day, actually. Morning, early evening, and late evening. Big up all the members in the chat as well. Evening to you guys. Tomorrow I'll be doing a Q&A for level 2 and 3. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that on your community posts. I'll stick the URL in the community. I will also stick the link for the stream once you're in it. So if you want to come, I'll stick that in the chat for you, remember, guys. And if you want to come on the camera, you can. Anyway, let's move on to some more comments. I'm going to do about another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to go to the shop and get some grub. Can you shout me out? Says Ice Wallow Comb. Come. 16. There you go. Evening to Kerry. Hope you're well, darling. Would you sign Immobile? Says Winifred. No, I'd sign. I would sign Timo Werner. That's who I'd sign. Arsenal are so lacking in quality, says Manindra. I hope I got your name right. Sell the 3 brats and get Upamecano, Samare, Grealish, Ziyech, and Werner. Hungrier players who need to compete. Well, mate, that list's not bad, is it? And this is the thing, right? This is what really gets me with Arsenal fans sometimes, right? And listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion, right? And I get that. Yeah, an opinion can't be wrong if it's your opinion, right? But this is, firstly, people get so triggered as soon as you mention selling Aubameyang. It's like, I ain't mentioned killing your family members, mate. Like, chill out. Yeah, he's a player. He's an employee of the football club. Players come and go. Yeah, I'll still be here long after he's retired. So I don't get it. But then when you look at Liverpool, for example, and I'll always use Liverpool as the example, right? Because Liverpool haven't spent much more than us in the last 5 years. They've spent £27 million gross more than Arsenal, which after netting it down, we've spent double them in 5 years. We've spent 240 odd million net. They've spent 125 million net. So look at their team, look at our team. What's the difference? The difference is their fans didn't have meltdowns when they sold Coutinho, Suarez and Sterling, yeah, which then built their team. Yeah, so maybe, listen, fuck Ozil off out the equation right now because we ain't getting a penny for him. Yeah, we need to accept that. Nobody is going to buy him. He's on too much money. He ain't that great. It's done. So we're stuck with him until the end of his contract, unless somebody in Qatar or America or China. I don't think the China one's going to happen, by the way, after his post the other week. But somebody needs to come in and go, right, we're taking him. Yeah, and there was a report going around that Qatar, some team in Qatar wanted him. We should have just flown him straight over there, chartered the jet, and bosh, you're off, bruv. But we didn't. But if you put Aubameyang and Lacazette on the market right now for the first day of the window opening in the summer, 1st of June or whatever it is, we'd get what? 60, 55, 50s for each of them, maybe. If Lacazette, he'd have longer on his contract but scores less goals, maybe 50 million, 50 mil, 45. Aubameyang, maybe 50 for 1 year left on his contract. £100 million. £100 million goes and buys you a top class centre back, yeah, and a decent striker. Yeah, then you've got Martinelli, you've still got Pepe. You then get rid of Mustafi, 10 million. You get rid of Granit Xhaka, 25. There's 35 million you've got back in. You now go and buy a proper midfielder, or put that towards a proper midfielder, and you've still not spent hardly anything. And then you go and get a left winger. We badly need a left winger, and you've overhauled some of the big names on the big wages that ain't really been doing it, and you've gone and replaced them with better players. You know, people laugh when I say I'll take Ryan Fraser. Why not? Why wouldn't you take Ryan Fraser? He's left-footed, he's left-sided, he defends, he scores, and he creates, and he can cross a ball. Why wouldn't you take Ryan Fraser? And he's got 6 months left on his contract. He is a freebie in the summer. All day long, I'd take that. He ain't going to come in with this big chip on his shoulder thinking he's the main man, and he'll be on about 60 grand a week. Big up the McManus. Thanks for your donation, mate. We need to stop roughing these players up in Cotton Wool and tell them to pull their finger out and start doing their jobs. Exactly, mate. Too many of these players, and I hope this story is true. Listen, you don't know how true the story is until it actually comes to reality or not. Yeah, so you can only go off of what's in the media right now. People go, oh, but it's in the Sun. It's the Sun. Yeah, it's in every single newspaper going. Yeah, so is that true? I don't know. But a lot of these newspapers called Arteta to be manager way before we all knew about it. Yeah, they were putting it out there. I think it was the Sun and the Daily Mail, the two that have led with this story, by the way, that actually had pictures of Vinay leaving Arteta's house early morning, way before he got the job. So, you know, that was fine, but that's a positive. As soon as it's a negative, oh, we can't believe that. It's the Sun. Load of bollocks. What's your take on the Messi Abidal fiasco? Who started the trend of players dictating the direction of an entire football institution? Mate, I'm not even going to lie. Thank you for that, Pirate King. Appreciate that. I'm not even going to lie. I don't even know what that story is, mate. Enlighten me. I don't know what that means, mate. So there we go. Let's read some more of these out for another. I'm going to do another 12 minutes. We'll go till half an hour. How's that? Do drive the likes up. Do subscribe. If you want to become a member, the link is in the description on YouTube. So yeah, go check that out. Get some funky emojis. Got some new emojis coming soon as well. We're going to have the Datsun. Come on, the Datsun's got to be in there. We're going to have a rum and coke emoji, a Jaeger emoji, and a beer emoji. And I'm in contact with somebody about actually making them a lot more professional because they're a little bit, I don't know. They're all right. I like them, but I'm going to get them polished up properly and get some nice ones made. It's going to cost a few quid, but listen, we're moving forward. Everything's moving forward on this. Also, for those who don't know, do go and check out the new show I started this morning. 7 o'clock every morning. That will be out there. It's a Premier League show. So where I talk about different topics in the Premier League, different clubs, different stories. So it won't just be exclusive to Arsenal content, that show. If you're a member, you get it the night before. Anybody else gets it at 7 a.m. on the following morning. Evening to you, DJ Crane. I hope you're well, buddy. So stupid. Had an offer to sell Aubameyang for 80 million and Ozil. Why block the move during a transfer window? Now it's closed and you want to... Well, exactly. This is why I do take everything with a pinch of salt, right? But at the same time, it's logical to sell 2 of them and just let the other one sit in the reserves and just run his contract down, or just pay his contract off. Because I think the best bit of business we could do this summer is buy Mesut Ozil's contract out. It cost £18 million in the summer. That would be the best £18 million we've spent, is buying his contract out and getting rid of the fucking circus that follows him. Get rid of all. Hang on, let me start that again, Bradley. Thank you for your donation, mate. What 3 players should replace them if we get rid of the 3 of them? I think you're trying to say. Okay, so I would replace Aubameyang with Timo Werner. Lacazette, I don't think we need to do that. We've got Martinelli already. So I then go and put that money towards the centre-back. And as for Mesut Ozil, I don't know. A lot of people want Jack Grealish. I don't rate him that highly. I'd rather Maddison, but I think Maddison would probably cost a bit more money. So maybe them players. Stop saying sell Aubameyang. Why? Why? Well, we're just going to let him walk out for free. Yeah, I'm sick of this club letting our best players walk out for free. Yeah, we need to sell him. Thoughts on Raul Jimenez? In a heartbeat, mate. All day long. I'd take him all day long. All day long. Name a good left winger. Sane. And he's got, what, a year left on his contract come the summer. I'd take him straight away. You was the one complaining when Wenger sold our best players. Now you will accept Aubameyang is going, says Unknown Driller. Yeah, the difference is, mate, we didn't need to sell our best players when Wenger was selling them, because we didn't have a stupidly high wage bill. The Emirates Stadium is not paid off until 2031, and it costs £20 million a year. And that guy has duped millions of Arsenal fans into thinking that we had to sell them players to pay off the stadium and balance the books, which is the biggest load of crap I have ever heard in my life. Now we have got a stupidly high wage bill because of that guy, and because of Gazidis, and because of Raul. Yeah, let's not take Raul out of this. And now we're stuck with the 4th highest wage bill in the Premier League for the 10th best team in the Premier League. So, yeah, I think it is time to sell some of these players. Yeah, let's stop paying out the big money for crap players. Yeah, Aubameyang, he ain't crap. Yeah, and he's not on massive money. But when you look at somebody like Ozil, he's on more than Kevin De Bruyne. Really? Come on, man. Seriously. Yeah, he's on stupid amounts of money for fuck all output. Yeah, and it's not acceptable. Thank you, Kevin, for your donation, buddy. Appreciate that. If all the big name money players leave, players see Pepe sitting, why would any quality player come here versus other top clubs if they had to choose? That's a good point. That is a very good point. Personally, it's how they sell the club, isn't it? You know, like, I'll give an example, right? People say that our midfield lacks creativity, right? I'm just going off topic. I'll answer that. People say our midfield lacks creativity. Can you tell me who in the Liverpool midfield creates? Can somebody tell me that? Jordan Henderson don't, Wijnaldum don't, and Fabinho don't. They don't create from midfield. They create from their wing backs or full backs. And then if they don't do it, they create from their wingers or Firmino putting the balls in. So this myth that we need a creative midfielder is just exactly that, a myth. So I think, in answer to your question, we don't necessarily need to go and get quality names. We need to go and get hard-working players. Liverpool, their left-back cost £8 million. Their right-back was free. Their midfield, Jordan Henderson, was relegated with Sunderland, wasn't he? Wijnaldum was relegated with Newcastle. Yeah, Fabinho, fair enough, £50 million. Salah was what, 27? I mean, everyone was like, Salah, 27 million quid. He's probably worth 127 million quid now. Mane, Southampton. You know, so you don't necessarily need to go and get a massive name. And I am sick of massive names. Go and get hard-working players. Go and get the proper hard-working players and do it that way. Granny voice, you don't know what you're talking about. Ozil was the best number 10 in the world. Giving me the red card. Nice one, McManus. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, the granny voice. The granny voice is the one. I can do that old man voice as well. I can do loads of accents as well, but I'm going to save them for another stream. Might have to get the rum and cokes flying for that one. We need a good recruiting team, says that kid. 100% we do, mate. 100% we do. Yeah, and I think that I don't know what I've done here. Jesus Christ, what have I done? My screen has froze. Ah, there we go. It's back. It's back again. But yeah, I think we need to go and recruit properly. And the thing is, like, we've got Pablo Mari in now. Everyone's hyped him up to be Pablo Van Dijk. Yeah, let's just hope that works out. The deal for Saliba, the amount of people knocking one out over William Saliba, is it really wise to put that much pressure on a 19-year-old that's never played in this league? Yeah, let's just see what happens with these players. I don't care if we go and do £30 million on one player or 20 million or a free signing, as long as they come in and make the team better. Yeah, playing Lacazette up front, playing Mesut Özil at number 10, playing Aubameyang left wing is not making Arsenal better. It's as simple as that. We need a left winger. We need a striker who can score goals. So put your striker up front, move your number 10 out the team, put somebody in who's hardworking. Whether they create or not is irrelevant. That's what your left and right back are for, because that's how football's going. 4-3-3, wing backs or fullbacks, sorry, creating the balls into the box for your strikers. You have then have a hard-working midfield, and your front three track back. Liverpool has set the pace, and that's been coming for a long time. I said a long time ago, 3 years ago, I said number 10s are dying out. Yeah, and everyone laughed at me. You don't know what you're talking about. They're dying out. Boo Ozil the next game at the Emirates. Do you know what? I've never booed a player for Arsenal. I've booed opposition players, obviously, but I've never booed an Arsenal player at a game. I'd never do that. I understand why people do sometimes, especially the Granit Xhaka one. Big up my sister in the chat. How you doing, sis? Hope you're good. How's your teeth whitening coming on? How's that going? Laka plus cash for Dybala. Do you think Dybala would do all right in the Premier League? I'm not so sure. I like him. I think he's a good player. But I think I don't know. I don't know if he'd be, I suppose you'd have to try, wouldn't you? Evening to you, Omar. Get rid of all three and then use the money to sign Koulibaly, Upamecano and Max Aarons and a DM. There you go. Brendan says, just because Liverpool play that way doesn't mean every team has to follow that style. Well, listen, they're the best team in Europe at the minute, so I'd rather follow the best team in Europe than follow the rest of the ways. Man City are 22 points behind Liverpool. So Man City's way is clearly not working this season. And Liverpool won the Europa League. They won the Champions League, and they're pissing a Premier League title. So why not try and emulate that? You know, if you look at a lot of teams now, they play 4-3-3 and they play with the three up front. They have a link man who don't necessarily score loads of goals, or they play with a striker who bangs goals in. So I don't know. Like, you know, Liverpool have got the two wingers that are just relentless. And Firmino, I like Firmino, but he don't score that many goals. But if you take him out of their team, that team ain't as fluid because he links them, that front three. With us, you know, we can sit here and say, yeah, Lacazette don't score any goals, but he don't link the play either. He don't really link it. So if you want to play that way, you need somebody who can link the play, and then you need wingers, Aubameyang, Martinelli, Pepe, whoever it may be, chipping in with the goals. We don't score enough goals. That's our problem. And there's a reason for that, and that's because we set up wrong every single week, whether it be Wenger, Emery, Freddie, or Arteta. We're playing players out of position. Why are we doing that? Yeah, set up with the best 11, which is not the best 11 at the moment. The one that we're going with is not our best 11. And play players in their right positions. It's really not that simple. Get a t-shirt that says Jesus Christ. Thank you, Marjan. That's not a bad idea. Oh, that reminds me. Check out the merch. Shameless plug. Link in the description. Big up all the real ones who have bought it already. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. And it has been shipped today, I believe. So yeah, that'll be with you soon. So tag me on an Insta story and I'll put that on mine. I'll repost that. So thank you. Let's do a couple more questions. I'm going to get myself out of it. Evening to South London's finest. Hope you're good, buddy. Hope you are good. Where's your comment gone? It's gone. Where you gone? There you are. It's gone. Don't be surprised if a Middle East team comes in for Ozil or a Turkish team that could pay his wages. He's lauded in those countries. Mate, I'll pay for his airfare. I'll do it now. Ozil will walk right into City. Wow. Do you believe that? Seriously. Real talk, big ribs. Do you actually believe he'd walk into City? I see somebody else say this in my comments earlier on one of my videos. Yeah, Ozil would be brilliant at Man City. Why has Pep never brought him? Why has Pep never brought him? I don't get it. Kevin De Bruyne is everything Ozil fans think Ozil is. Kevin De Bruyne's unbelievable. That geezer's got everything an attacking midfielder should have. He can score, he can create, he's got the pace, he's got the power. He can tackle, he tracks back, he works hard, he wants the ball all the time, he never hides, he can cross a ball, he can lay them on a plate. Best midfielder on the planet. And he's now officially the assist king as well, because he's flying away with assists this season, which put him ahead of the former assist king. Anyway, 2 more comments. I ain't reading that comment. Come on, Benjamin, man. What's this all about, bruv? Do I have to block you again? Yeah, it'd get into Birmingham City. Comment at the stream. Comment at the stream. Ozil isn't the king, he's the princess. And on that note, Rickon, thank you to everybody in the chat. 720 people still watching this live, so thank you very much. Do stick a thumbs up on the video. And if you want to become a member, like all the others, feel free to go and check that out. That is in the description along with the website for the clothing and that. So go and check that out. I will be back at 9 o'clock and make sure you stay tuned for that. If you're watching this on Facebook like Eddie is, thank you, Eddie. Do share the post, do share the link. That'd be great. And thank you very much to everybody who does that every time. I can see who does it. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful early evening and I'll be back at 9 o'clock. Laters, peeps.